It's been a whopping 1,461 days, or just over 4 years as of September the 10th, since Rockstar Games graced us with what many consider to be the best DLC update in Red Dead Online, which is Frontier Pursuits. This update has not just been a standout in the game, it's fundamentally altered the game and is often the first one that comes to mind when discussing the most transformative DLC in Red Dead Online. Sure, there have been other fantastic expansions like Moonshiners, which is also a personal favorite of mine for various reasons. We had The Naturalist, which, may not have been players' favorite, but it did bring a lot of new layers to the roles that were introduced in Frontier Pursuits and kind of built off of it in the way you act in the free roam and the gameplay loop and how that changed. However, when it comes down to sheer impact, none have reshaped the world of Red Dead Online and changed the RDO experience quite like Frontier Pursuits. And so in today's episode, we're going to be on a nostalgic dive into the seminal expansion 4 years after its release. We're going to dissect what makes it so compelling and why it's heralded as the pinnacle of content for this game. There's a ton to cover, and while I may not hit every point you're thinking of as you watch this video, feel free to chime in with your thoughts by leaving a comment below. So as we get into things, if you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, then please consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So for the sake of this celebratory 4-year video revisiting Frontier Pursuits 4 years later, I wanted to do basically one activity from each role that was introduced: Bounty Hunter, Trader, and Collector. So I figured we'd start off with, I was going to do the Barbarella Alcazar Legendary Bounty because that was the first one we ever got in terms of Legendary Bounties, but it may take too long for the sake of this video because we have a lot to go through, so maybe we'll just do an easier one and also a faster one. This is probably the quickest one you could do. Yukon Nick, you can fly through this bounty, honestly. So I say we start off with this for today's video. I figured this would be a fun video to do just because, one, we get to play a legendary bounty, which I always enjoy doing, but also we get to revisit some of the most amazing content that this game ever introduced to the game, and Rockstar never really followed up with it too much. I mean, they did introduce a Bounty Hunter expansion, which was honestly really fun. I just wish we got another 10 legendary bounties from it. We only got 3, but that's okay. So I want to talk about a few things as we play this bounty. One of the things that I appreciated most about Frontier Pursuits is it changed the online character movement and the combat. If you guys remember, the mechanics and the gameplay mechanics, the movement, it was just like the story mode. In my opinion, obviously it's grounded and it's realistic and it's heavy and it's supposed to be that way intentionally, but I don't think it works for a multiplayer game. Even if the multiplayer isn't supposed to be an ultra fast-paced first-person shooter, it should still be quick. And I think the online movement nowadays, with how when you go into ADS like I am with a weapon, you're already in the running animation, you're not walking, and you don't need to click the sprint animation or the sprint button to start sprinting as you're shooting and aiming down your sight. I think that's good. That's really reminiscent of how Red Dead 1 multiplayer was, Red Dead Redemption multiplayer in 2010. If you guys remember, it wasn't quite as twitchy as this game, but when you ADS, your character was running like this. So that was definitely something that I appreciated right there. Of course, just in general, we added the specialist roles into this game. Bounty Hunter, Trader, Collector. You can make so much golden money now. You could make a decent amount of money before that, but it still just was not nearly as good as it was nowadays because, of course, you can make a lot of money with the trader role instead of just hunting free roam animals, selling their parts to the butcher. I would say in between the May 14th, 2019 spring update and then Frontier Pursuits, it was a lot easier to make money compared to before that spring update. But of course, after we got Frontier Pursuits, that totally flipped the game on its head, and that's when we got a lot of pretty awesome stuff to be able to make money, make our currency, things like that. Normally, I tried flying through this mission for a gameplay that I recorded the other day, and I'm noticing how much harder it is to focus on the combat when I'm trying to talk about different things and look at my notes to make sure I go over every gameplay topic possible. We have a few of these hounds we gotta take out, otherwise they're gonna get me in trouble and get me killed here. Let's just focus up for a second, take everyone out, because then we'll have to free the marshal, and then we'll actually honestly, we don't even need to fight the second wave of enemies if we don't want to. We can literally just run away at that point and deliver the bounty. So let's just clear all these guys out. So there are a couple of other things. We had tons of content and unlockables within and outside of these roles that were added. That was pretty cool. Tons of quality of life improvements which came into the game, and much of the content needed balancing, so it's good we actually got that with Frontier Pursuits. We got some ability card nerfs, we got other changes and more. We also got one of the most overpowered ability card combinations that did come to the game, which was, trying to think back to it. It was Peak Condition, Never Without One. It wasn't Slippery. It was Slow and Steady, Peak Condition, Never Without One, as well as Fool Me Once. That was like the most overpowered ability card combination when Frontier Pursuits came out, and it was unbelievable. With the Frontier Pursuits update, we got our first Outlaw Pass as well. That never came out on PC, which is honestly such a shame. I'm gonna start shooting this guy in the kneecap instead of the shoulder, because I feel like it's easier to take this guy out that way. That way, you know, you don't accidentally kill the Marshal or anything like that. So yeah, we got the Outlaw Pass, we got Camp and World Equipment Editions, we got the Weapons Locker, a bunch of Camp upgrades, the Stew Pot, we got the, what else did we get at Camp? We got, I mean, so many other things. I can't even name it all, just off the top of my head, but there was a lot. We got added free roam events, which doubled the previous count of free roam events that we actually had in the game, because we had 2 specific free roam events for each role, as well as we got new free roam events, new general non-role related free roam events in general. That was pretty cool. We got a bunch of dynamic events as well, like defend the campsites. We got the treasure map hunters, which was really good for earning some extra money and gold because you got treasure maps. We got treasure maps on trees that you could find. We got different rescue missions, things like that. There was just so many awesome things that came into the game. And so now with that said, let's go and deliver this bounty to jail. You can complete this mission super fast and still make a pretty decent amount of gold and money. But we do have one thing I want to take care of after this, which is going to be a trader cell real fast. So let's get this bounty done. Delivering this bounty to jail. I know I kind of flew through everything I wanted to discuss in this live commentary format. This is a quicker bounty as is. We just did this in less than 7 minutes. So we're only going to get, I'm pretty sure, let's see, 32 gold nuggets and probably like $35, $40 at most. But nonetheless, still pretty decent when everything's double gold, double money like the legendary and infamous bounties are this month. I do also want to mention as we start up our trader cell next, I think the roles were the best thing that this game ever got. I'm glad that Rockstar added a few more with the Moonshiner, the Naturalist, the Bounty Hunter expansion. Blood Money was a departure from the roles, and I feel like, you know, if things turned out differently, Rockstar did have plans for more roles. They absolutely did, but unfortunately those plans were never realized, which is pretty sad in my opinion. But nonetheless, we did get to enjoy this game with a bunch of different roles. I mean, we have 5 unique ones and one with a new, oh wow, we got $93 from that? I'm surprised we got that much. I'm pretty sure I just did this the other day and we didn't make that much. Oh, you know what? That's because it was single money and I got like $35 the day before the double money update came out. So we're going to go back to camp, get this trader cell started. I'll probably fast forward through it because we're going to do a long distance cell. But this was also another role that came out with Frontier Pursuits, and in my opinion, this made the money grind so much easier as well, especially when the Naturalist update came out. $625 for a long distance delivery. We're basically alone in this session anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have to worry about getting blown up. So let's begin one of these trader cells. The one bad thing about the trader role when Frontier Pursuits came out was, unfortunately on console before PC ever came out into the game, do you guys remember animals did not spawn at all? Anytime you were actually doing a trader delivery, which it took you forever to do because you couldn't find animals normally, but whenever you were doing a delivery like I am right now, you'd find plenty of animals. Animals galore. But whenever you were trying to actually hunt in the free roam as is, it was nearly impossible to find animals. And I feel like that persisted on console until the Moonshiners update. Thankfully, I was able to kind of avoid that problem a little bit faster than other people because I ended up getting this game on PC when it came out, and I've been playing on PC basically ever since, and I've only put in a couple hours on PlayStation since then. So my character on PlayStation's permanently left at level 313, 314, 315, I forget which level he is, and my PC character is a level 608 now. So we're doing pretty well here, but I think with all that said, let's just fast forward through this and deliver this trader goods to McFarlane's ranch. Couple of enemies to clear out on the way, but no matter, we'll just take them out nice, fast, and easy. They're messing up my little time lapse here, I can tell you that much. And since we have a couple enemies spawning, that means more are gonna spawn a little bit later on too, unfortunately. And now we're here, but we have a train in the way, so let's try and avoid this. Maybe get in front of it before the train actually leaves the station. Yeah, let's get across the tracks, please. There we go. Sometimes you fight enemies at the delivery, sometimes you don't. This is going to be the easy one where we don't fight enemies. As you can see, it's nighttime already. I'm sure that looked actually pretty cool on the time lapse of us transitioning from, you know, evening or afternoon to evening to dusk to night. So that's pretty neat. But overall, I do think that the specialist roles with Frontier Pursuits that released, Bounty Hunter, Trader, Collector, these totally changed the game's progression system. They changed how a player can make their money and gold. All the roles worked interchangeably, so a thing that I always recommend players to do with the 3 roles is while they're hunting bounties and trying to drag out the timer to earn a little bit of extra gold and money, then they could hunt some animals for their trader role or go collecting and get some collection sets stocked up, things like that. You can mix and match all the roles in this game, and it's honestly super awesome in my opinion. Frontier Pursuits, I mean, I love Moonshiners, I just like the content of it, but Frontier Pursuits is the most transformative in my opinion, and I do think that it is the best update in this game, still 4 years later. So with all that said, that's all we have time for today, and we're going to be wrapping things up right here. I'd love to know how you feel about the Frontier Pursuits update being more than 4 years old at this point. I'm not really sure what's happened to the time, but somehow, here we are. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at Hazardous HDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.